So Chris, we've been in many dunk contests. We talked about traveling for dunk contests and not getting paid for it, and we've ended up eventually splitting money in dunk contests. So it's gonna segue into a little story I wanted to hear from your side. Okay. So everybody knows on Dunk League, I got hurt.
Yep.
But after I got hurt, I heard it was a rumor that you guys were discussing splitting up the money or something like that was supposed to happen for Dunk League because for Dunk League season 3, we were going to do the same thing, and I ended up not wanting to split it. So explain that situation, like what happened with that. I feel like, because from just the outside looking in, it's kind of looked like a lot of dunkers don't like Chris, and it kind of goes into the everybody hates Chris thing. But is there a reason? Like, is this the reason behind it? Like, what happened?
So let me clear the air. You weren't there, but I'll explain to you. So Dunk League season 2, we get to the finals. It's myself, Jordan Kilgannon, Guy Dupuis, CJ Champion, and Jay Clark. We're all in the finals. We all go to IHOP. We had breakfast the morning of whatever. We talking about it. And we all were like thinking, I forgot who actually came up with the idea. I felt like it was CJ or something like that. But came up with the idea and said, man, it would be dope if we all could it's $50,000. $50,000. This is the most money we probably going to see as far as dunkers in one setting. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no more Dunk King. So I'm like, all right, we talk about it. What if first place wins $32,000? They'll take home $32,000 if we all split the money up. So first place will take home $32,000, and then everybody else will take home $6,000, which covers the other $18,000.
Which is not first of all, getting a whole extra $6 on top of if you had already won events, even if you didn't win, you was potentially leaving out there with $9,000 off the top. So plus your appearance fee, we all got an appearance fee. So yeah, you was damn near gonna come up off 10 for some of the guys who had won a couple. Because you got to the finals, you won a couple competitions.
I had won a few times prior to it. You know, the only people that hadn't won anything prior to that was CJ and Jay Clark. They were consistent. They were like in the second and third place every time, but they hadn't won anything. So me, Jordan, and Guy had already won rounds prior to it. So for me, I'm like, man, if I win, I probably already have like 6,000 or 7,000 right now. So I'm like, I'm gonna come up close to 40,000 anyways. And so anyways, we all put our hand in. We all did like on some Power Rangers stuff.
Teamwork, let's go.
All right, y'all win. So we didn't discuss Guy because he wasn't there at breakfast with us. So we're like, all right, well, the only thing we have to do is not let Guy win. I mean, he was like the head of the snake. A lot of guys wanted to beat him, and he probably was the biggest threat when it comes to certain things and him in the contest.
Yeah.
I mean, we already know how Guy is. So we came up with the idea. First place takes home $32,000. The rest takes home $6,000 apiece. We all put our hands in. And then Jordan Kilgannon, we all looking at him like, you in? And he says, I'm gonna buy y'all breakfast. So for me, I was like, bet. Because we just discussed this whole idea.
So for me, just before you continue, just from a personal standpoint, if his hand is not in, there's no deal.
It's no deal.
It's no deal.
But I'm gonna take some ownership to it too. At the end of the day, so you know the contest happens. He said, "I'm gonna buy everybody breakfast." I was like, "No, I don't need breakfast." But we just discussed this whole idea. You heard what we were trying to do, and now it really triggered me on as far as like the competitor. Now, like, oh, all right. So now I'm ready to win. Now I see blood, and so the contest happens. Who was the first person I had to go against in the dunk off? Kilgannon. We had that round. It happened. I ended up winning. The next round, I had Guy. And then the next round, I had the dunk horse, and then I had to go against Jay Clark, right? So I ended up winning the whole thing. I tell the people who was in charge of Dunk League, hey, we want to split the money up. And even after each round, like you can see, like even on Dunk League, I'm talking to people in their ear. After Jordan was eliminated, I said, yo, I got you. We good. Don't even worry about it. After I didn't say anything to Guy, because we didn't talk about it. But when CJ came up, you'll see. Like, you can look at the clip. Talk to CJ. We good, bro. We good. Said the same thing to Jay Clark after I won the whole thing. I talked to the people in charge of Dunk League. They sent me a $50,000 check, even after I told them, hey, we decided to split this money. Now, you've been a part of these situations with me for years. Have we ever had an issue with that? Me and you have been in a contest.
Like, we've been in many contests.
Many contests.
When the checks is split up at the end
Whenever
or
the
whatever the case.
contest was over, was 10,000 plus, I call you first, and you know it.
And now the thing is, to attest to that, because like you just said, they sent you straight a $50,000 check. Never had to been the time where we said we're going to split the prize and one check has been sent to the person. Like, we always get it split either right after the contest or when they send the money out, they send it with the money they was originally going to send or however that may go. Like,
so imagine me so I get a $50,000 check. What do I do with that? Now, what do you do with that? Now, do I just give away 18,000 of that?
We've been in this game too long. We know W-9s, we know how taxes work. We know that stuff. So if they split the money, each one of them sixes that they was supposed to get would have probably been $5,600, $5,700 after taxes. Your 32 would have been maybe 28. 27.
I live in LA.
Maybe 25 after tax.
Right.
But they have to take that tax. Now, on your 50,000, you was gonna get taxed. So now, if you send the money out to people, they getting tax-free money.
There you go. And so that was my issue. So I felt bad on the fact of, I was telling guys, like, in that moment, I'm like, yo, we good, I got you, don't even worry about it. But then when that money came straight to me, $50,000 and not split off, because I would have been fine with them splitting it. Like, you know, how we decided. I would have been fine with that. I'll take the $32,000 check. But it didn't happen that way. So now I got $50,000 check. Now I don't know how to figure this out. with 3 other people, W-9s, at that point, didn't have my own business, none of that stuff yet. So I'm like, this is real messy. So I ended up like, you know what? This is my money at the end of the day. And I wasn't gonna break my neck on doing this. But in the meantime, since I didn't live up to my end of the bargain, I started trying to put out opportunities for people. Now you'll be able to attest to this. I ended up calling Isaiah and CJ for a dunk show in Florida. I said, here's another opportunity for y'all to make some money. We'll go down to the arena, go do this dunk show, pay you for that. Jay Clark, I ended up getting Jay Clark signed with NBA Playmakers, ended up inviting him to dunk contest, ended up inviting him to the China dunk contest. I told him, I said, come to this dunk contest instead of going to the jump 10 contest. But he decided to, he didn't trust me at the time. And I get it. But I was trying to get them like, yo, here's an appearance fee. And if he had showed up to that contest in China with us, he would have won.
Oh, the way he was done?
He was going off. He was going off. But he went against you that day. So, you know, I felt bad, but at the same time, it was nothing I really could control from my end. And then I ended up asking Jordan Kilgannon, did he want to compete in the same dunk contest that I was in China? Like, I don't run from the smoke. I asked these guys, you want to compete? Let's go. His appearance fee, was the same amount of money that we were about to win. It was the same prize money. So it was like, no one's going to fly you out for that. For the appearance fee, going to be the same as the prize. So that's my story with that, man. Like, so I didn't steal $50,000. I didn't try to not pay people. It was just like a misunderstanding, a business situation where I couldn't disperse the money. And then I feel like at the same time, it blackballed me from a lot of situations because guys have their groups and things like that in the dunk game. It's a small world, but I can tell you now, like, I've never been invited to dunk camp. Tell me, is that not weird that I've never been invited?
I don't think it's more so of you as a person. Mm-hmm. I just think it's more so of, first of all, everybody who gets invited to dunk camp, we know Andy personally. Like the guy who run dunk camp, we all know him. Like was there. We was
Tyler Ray.
We all know. Like they literally helped him when he was first trying to get his first dunk at 40.
Okay, so that's him.
It's been like, you have never been, and I'll say this, Chris, mm-hmm. You ain't never been head first in the whole dunk group thing because you was already back then doing your old thing, getting the commercials and doing it a different way. So you was always on a different route. So I think it was a belief of like, people didn't think you loved dunking how the other guys love dunking, which is probably true. Even with me, it's true. Like, I love dunking and all, but I was a basketball player first. I love the game of basketball.
Right.
It's like the guys that's there every day, like they wholeheartedly, 90% of them wake up, dream, eat, sleep, dream, dunk.
How can they say I don't love dunking? Because I feel like just because it's not exactly what they do, don't mean I'm not out here dunking just as much as these guys.
It's not that you're not dunking as much, Chris. It's a simple fact of like I said, you've always came off like this since after a certain point in time. It was always, I call it business dunker. Right. He was always a dunker in a suit. And it was just like, that's why you would win and beat us, because we just like, I want to come with the newest dunk in the contest that nobody ever seen before. The judge is not going to know what happened. Yeah, they're not going to know what happened, and you're going to get an 8, and Chris going to do it between the legs and get a 10. But it was like, it was a fact of like, the way from this is me from the outside looking in, because it's never been, I've had these conversations about why certain people is not there, or why certain people don't get invited. I thought the same thing about like why Sir Isaac ain't here. Like he's great with the kids and stuff like that and working with them and stuff like that. It's just from you, that's what the perception was. It's never that you wasn't gonna be able to coach the kids or do nothing like that. It's just the 5 guys that we would pick before you is guys that they have a passion about this dunk stuff. Like,
so let me say this.
Now,
I don't think, I can't speak for you, but I can't say that anybody has just as much, that I don't have, those guys have more passion for dunking, because everything I do is related to dunking, and you know that. Everything. Now it may not be making up a new dunk. But
what I'm saying is, I've been around you for multiple times for 24-hour, 48-hour spans. Where we talk dunks. But we talking about business, we talking about YouTube, we talking about branding, we talking about this.
Right.
I can get with if I link with Isaiah Rivera right now, and we wake up at 8 a.m. and go to sleep at 8 p.m. From 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., we're gonna talk about dunks and workouts. We ain't gonna talk about no brand, no business. We ain't gonna talk about regular life. We're gonna talk about dunks.
Right.
Point blank period dunks. And I feel like that's the only thing. And it's like, Also,
y'all had guys there that, okay, let's take away the 5. You have other guys there that's not a part of that 5 that just may come there just to dunk.
Who?
You had
anybody who came there as a coach, was like, that's what it was. Like,
how they get there?
Somebody
gotta say, yeah, you can come. Somebody gotta say, yeah, you can come.
Bro, you gotta realize 4 of us have gotten hidden up. 5 of them people has hit up dunk camp. Right. Like B Ruff hit up dunk camp. Like, some people came there as like, not per se campers, but they came there to learn. Like Chris Spell was there to learn when he first went, and now he's a professional dunker, or quote unquote, he's getting into professional dunking.
Right.
So it's like, the coaches, it was only, the first 2 years I missed, it was only 3 coaches. Only 3 people got invited.
Right.
Kilgannon was a coach. Kilgannon wasn't even supposed to be there. He was a surprise guest.
Right.
So it was Isaiah, Clark, Chase, and what's his name?
Right.
But Kilgannon was a surprise. Connor Barth was a camper. That was his first event. Right. He got on from doing the dunk camp, because that's when Jay Clark versus Kilgannon happened, and Connor Barth was at that one.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it was like, a lot of the dunkers there aren't coaches.
But okay, and we'll go past that.
We'll get past. Like, I feel like point blank period.
I was just surprised that I wasn't even brought up.
And it's also the fact of, bro, you had the busiest schedule in the dunk game.
But just you speaking, you might know me. Somebody else might not know me, hit me up.
But what we said earlier, I've been here for 2 weeks.
Right.
You didn't know because of how my post be.
Right.
The way our post be, you may post an overseas event that you did a month ago.
But if I got something for you, you already know. I don't care where you at. I really don't be caring where you at. I'd be like, where you at? How long?
Again, that's us.
That's us. That's what I'm saying. So we can't. So you speaking for me as my bro, but at the same time,
I'm speaking. Like I said, I'm speaking from you from the outside looking in, and just being a real person and being like, I've had these conversations and asked these certain questions. It's just, like I said, we know Andy. That's why CJ, that's why Kilgann, that's why me, that's why Zeus, that's why Austin Berkey, like Isaiah, like that's why Isaiah's little brothers be there because they live there and stuff. It's like the only reason we is the first ones on that list is because when Andy,
it's fine.
it's because when Andy before he even thought of a dunk camp, when he made his first dunk, Andy flew down to Florida and had a session with Isaiah, me, Kilgannon at UCF. Like when he was creating dunk camp, those like him like everybody that was at that session is some of the first people he called because that's who he told the idea to. Like,
I'm gonna tell you my message to. I'm gonna tell you my message though to dunk camp. I don't know who run their page. I'm just asked the question. May 24th, 2019. Say you guys already have the dunker set. It would be amazing to have you join, but we are out of budget, actually over budget, trying to get some more sponsors.
What was that? That was 2019?
All good. I said all good, no worries. That's why I left it at that. That's it. Now we 3 years later.
So
now it's not about budget. You didn't even ask me.
That's not so then it's like this. That 2019, that was pre-pandemic. The dunk camp he had after the pandemic was virtual.
Right.
We did a virtual dunk camp.
I remember that.
The year after that, anybody who did the virtual, he had to invite, but we had half of the kids, half of the coaches.
Right.
This year was the best year he's had. Budget-wise, everything-wise, this was the best year he's had. So when I feel like when it comes to next year,
I still feel.
Hit him up. Like, listen,
I'm not knocking it. I'm just giving. My thing is, I'm not even knocking the whole dunk camp. I think that thing is amazing. I think it's great that people go out there and you teaching like the next generation, because that's what we always do that. I mean, we've been doing that since we started like Globetrotters and Wizards and stuff like that. We always about like building up the next generation. But my thing is, I felt like I was blackballed in a way. Not just that. That's just maybe one example. It may be.
Because like we said, we don't know them, like we personally don't know them private conversations.
Right.
And if we've been on a realistic standpoint, because this is a real podcast, like this is real stuff, every person that was at dunk camp was in dunk league.
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to rest my case on that one. I'm going to rest my case. That's kind of crazy.
I mean,
I ain't no conspiracy theorist or nothing, but
it dropped the mic. It dropped the mic. You know what I'm saying? So you might not want to say that, but at the same time, that's where the blackball came. Because some people didn't want to see certain people win. But
now, any of the guys that's mentioned, this is an open podcast. You can come sit in any one of these chairs.
More than welcome.
More than welcome. We will have you sit.
Yeah, but at the same time, I wanted to bring it up like
now it's in the air.
Maybe because of that one situation where people thought I was taking money, which I said a test. Me and you have probably. I'm just putting out there on a limb. I'm probably say we probably split money about 5, 6, 7 times. I would say between the two of us have made $50,000 just on splitting. Just on splitting.
It might be 5 contests.
For real.
I don't want to tell y'all which ones because y'all gonna be like, oh, y'all wasn't really trying.
Yeah, we probably. Or we'll try to get to the finals and we figure it out. But it's like, it's been multiple times. I mean, we even did Creator Classic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was 10K. We talked about it. Like, you know, like we're gonna go do our thing, and then if it doesn't, whoever the winner is, they're gonna get a little bit more. So it's never ever been about like me taking some extra money, because in the dunk game, people don't understand. Like nowadays, people have appearance fees, but they didn't have that.
It ain't even about the appearance fees. I think now because you have so much social media and you don't have to wait on a contest, you don't have to wait on a dunk show. You can get your Instagram, YouTube, TikTok money. It's different, bro. It's like we get it.
Right.
We done been out here and literally like, oh, you flying to this contest? Yeah. You know it's $1,400 if you win, which is not much. Like really, realistically, $1,400 to fly 8-9 hours, and that's the only one of 2 dunk contests you get in that month.
Yeah, what's that gonna do?
That ain't
by the time you get home.
That's car note or rent. It ain't both.
Yeah, that money is gone by the time you get home.
So it's like, bro, we had
to like feed our family. We had to win. So the drive, and that's sometimes I actually struggle with that as far as like finding that drive, because it ain't like it used to be. You know, it was like we had to win this dunk contest, or you don't. You just flew over to France. You just flew over to Africa, a full day's trip, spend more time on the plane than you actually in the country, and $0.
Quick, you ever did an overseas contest and not make it to the finals?
Yeah.
So y'all don't know the pain of flying 12 plus hours, warm up for 3 minutes, do 2 dunks, and you gotta go home. Like, you don't even get to the finals. You did maybe 4 or 5 warm-up dunks, 2 dunks in the contest, and you gotta go home, bro.
But you know what?
And you go home.
I'm gonna bring this point up too. When people talk about like how do dunkers make bread, how they make money, you know, like we started off in contests where it's like you had to win a dunk contest, and at one point it wasn't sustainable to have a way of life or things like that.
There was only 3 people getting commercials.
But exactly.
Hollywood, Air Dog, and that guy that run this gym.
Yep.
Fest.
So, but if you think about it, I mean, what's your biggest appearance fee?
To date,
let's just say
I got 10. I got 10 for an appearance fee one.
Let's say $10,000 for an appearance fee showing up now. Jordan probably done 3 times. You think about that. That's $3,333.
A dunk.
And we've had shows too. And it's not to brag on like money, but like when it's a dunk is a unique,
it's a bag. It's bragging on the fact of we've put in years of work to make it look so consistent and easy that we deserve these bags. Like If you want, you
can't find nobody else that's doing it.
Point blank, period.
And so when I think about that, like, man, like we've been in contests before, $25,000 dunk contest. Like, how many dunks you did that day? 4? Maybe.
Bro, 5 dunks got Purdy at Aston Martin.
I'm just saying.
5 dunks got that man at Aston Martin.
I'm just saying. So like, understand, like the dunk game is it's lucrative when you do it right. And you know what I'm saying? And actually, but you go back to your main point. You gotta brand yourself, because if you just stay in this area of like I'm just gonna do dunk contests, you're gonna be broke. But if you have spread yourself, like I can do dunk contests, but I can also do dunk shows. I can do movies, TV shows. Currently on TV show right now, like
just filmed a movie the other weekend that's gonna be on Tubi. We got a Netflix joint coming out. You feel me? 3 Tyler Perry shows. Season 1 is a team out right now. You already know what's going on. Yo, listen, man. You're only as big as you allow yourself to be.
For real. But, man, I appreciate you being out here, man.
Yeah,
we're going to New York, so, you know, can't really say much. Can't say
I see you at the airport tomorrow. I see you at the airport in the morning.
12 hours.
Can I ride with you? I'm gonna just go to your house. We'll ride together. I don't know.
Good. We good. I'm just saying. So, my guy Jordan Sutherland, man, a.k.a. 1 Foot God. This my bro. We've been in games since 2014, 2013. Long time. Still doing this thing. Got a dunk contest tomorrow. Hope y'all liked it.
Hey, enjoy all the dunk contests y'all get from me, man. We got about 3 more years. Yeah. I'm gonna be in the office just like this, chilling.
We working on getting to this stage right here, though. Thank y'all for watching. More videos coming your way soon. I'm Chris Staples, 1 Foot God, Jordan Sutherland. We out.
From MIA to LA on the run like I don't got in the state. Yeah, I'm from LA.